Welcome back to This Garden Bliss. Thank you for supporting the channel. Today we're in the garden studio. We're going to do a little tour first of how we're using this space that was shown in our recent video, Garden Studio Creation, which you can find in the link below. As many of you know, our former kitchen counter and cabinetry were installed into the garden studio to facilitate the ongoing needs of our garden. And as you can see, it comes in very handy with places for the shears and cutters, compartments, drawer after drawer where cutlery used to be. Our garden hose is tucked neatly underneath at the bottom there. And what do we have? Oh yes, our gardenia attachments and tapes and brushes. Very, very handy to have. And then of course there's the running water. Only cold, but yeah, it comes in great for cleaning up. Fantastic. And over to the left is our door to the backyard, our Brugmansia under work here, and so on. As you can see, it comes in lots of sockets for charging our batteries for trimmers and cell phones, etc. In this upper cupboard, we have horticultural oil, fertilizers, and 3% hydrogen peroxide, which all have many uses throughout the garden. We have used the hydrogen peroxide for many years to combat root fungus and microorganisms in the trees and shrubs. This chart shows the mix ratio values for a variety of needs. The fungal control provides great results, as it has made a huge improvement with the ornamental horse chestnut tree a few years ago.
The mixing ratio for 3% hydrogen peroxide as a disinfectant will be equal parts, meaning 1-to-1 ratio. The Brugmansia did not disappoint during the growing season. It was placed by the waterfall all summer, and now we're bringing it inside for its winter retreat. So here we have the entire plant. It was pruned to remove all the excess foliage. Now it's going in for a soak in the mixture.
This Brugmansia has been cut down for second winter and is having a bath in a bucket before being prepped to stay indoors for several months. Of course, we all know that a good potting soil should have a combination of peat moss, compost, perlite, and vermiculite. This gives the best results of growing potted plants as it contains good drainage and moisture retention. The bucket provides for a good saturation of the soil without allowing the dirt to flow down the drain. After a few days, the plant will be removed and excess water drained off before being moved indoors. Moss is also great for potted plants because it works as a mulch. It keeps the soil temperature regulated, helps retain moisture, prevents weeds, and adds organic matter to the soil. Moss is also a great aesthetic that covers up the harshness of soil and creates a more natural look indoors or outside. We picked up all the preserved moss we needed for a great price at the local dollar store.
I really like the look of moss.
And it's easy to work with.
And it comes in a variety of different colors.
I've noticed that you use it outside a lot too, under the bench.
Absolutely.
And what is it you're trying to achieve outside as opposed to inside?
A natural look.
Well, you're trying to grow it in that shallow dish.
I was trying to get mushrooms too.
Oh, mushrooms.
Wanted mushrooms and moss and to make the area look as natural. You know, the garden is 30 years old. This Hoya plant is coming in from the greenhouse. It was also placed by the waterfall this summer, and it got huge, much too heavy to manage. So I decided to divide the Hoya up into smaller containers and take some cut-ins as well. I collect some of my cut-ins in jars that will be later placed by a sunny window in the kitchen. The plants are also sprayed with horticultural oil for any eggs or insect or fungi not visible to the naked eye.
Well, it certainly looks like you're making great use of the space here.
I am really enjoying having a special place to go and get this job done. Every fall, I scramble to get the plants in from out of the cold and get them in a timely manner. And now I can do that at a little bit of a more leisure space.
And you can even leave a mess and, clean it up later. Because it used to be a garage. Now it's a garden center. You don't have to be afraid to throw the mud around.
I would never throw the mud around. The preparation for the cut-ins is complete now. The containers are dressed with moss, a variety of different moss and color, and they're ready to go in for the winter. So now we're moving over to our workstation 2, and it looked like there's a lot happening on over here. So here we have all the boxes. They're labeled with the names of the dahlias and a variety of different bulbs that we'll be boxing up and storing today. Along with the boxes, I have pictures of the original plant that was purchased. And I place these pictures inside with those bulbs. So next spring, when I open up these boxes, I will have a clear picture in mind, no guesswork involved on what is actually the bulbs and where I should be planting for them in the garden. So here's a picture of a dahlia. And in this box, we will have Cafe au lait dahlia. And that'll be going in here. And over in this workstation, what I've done is they are pre-labeled in plastic bags. They were harvested, dried. They are now laying on the table, wrapped in some in paper bags and some in newspaper, and shredded wood chips.
The wood chips that you see in the box here were purchased at the pet store. About $16 or $17 for 6 cubic feet, quite large and compressed. You can break it up and use it in lots of boxes like you see here to keep the bulbs dry through the winter months. You can get it in bulk. Yeah, that looks great. Looks great. Good for the purpose. And that's used to line cages for gerbils and little hamsters and stuff like that. And that's what we pack the bulbs in.
I've reused it for many years now.
That's right. And we still have excess kicking around somewhere.
In another box.
In another box. Label all the boxes. Very, very handy to have. Don't get it at the gardening store. Get it at the pet store. Or maybe even the dollar store would have it, eh?
No.
Oh, nope. I'm told.
So I stuff these boxes with the wood chip, and then I go on to getting the paper bags ready for all the boxes that needs to be packed up. So here we have a calla lily, and in this bag we have some poppies. I use paper bags throughout the year and throughout the season. I collect them from friends and family so that I can harvest seeds and bulbs and have them ready, labeled to be packed in their boxes for the winter storage. I then take a marker and mark each bag with the name of the bulb. And so here we have Playa Blanca, the dahlia that I love so much and seem to have a lot of it. It produces extensively throughout the summer months more tubers for me. So here I'm taking a brush and I am just brushing away some of the excess soil away from the eye of the dahlia, and then I'm going to put it away in the bag individually. So I may have maybe 5-6 different paper bags of the same dahlia, and this one's ready to go.
Saving you lots of money for the next year.
Absolutely. And this, yes, it seems like it's a lot of work now, but I love the garden looking full. So on this table, we have begonias, calla lilies, dahlias, and canna lilies. Right now, I'm boxing up the begonias. The begonias are tuberous begonias. I've had these tuberous begonia for 4 seasons now. Wonderful display. Here's a picture. I've kept these pictures over the years because they just a beautiful repeat in the garden, and the tubers get bigger and bigger each year.
So I think planning and organization is key.
Absolutely. I plan not just the design of the garden, but the color scheme as well.
Mm-hmm.
The Cafe au lait Royale Dahlia, as well as the Cafe au lait itself, one's a pinkish blush and the other one's a creamy white. They're both new to the garden this year, and we so enjoyed them.
Oh, I love them.
You love photographing
Yeah,
the
of course.
dahlias. And so I have this little bag. I try to keep the mesh bags, and they're helpful as well. If I don't have enough paper bags, I use the mesh, and I put the bulbs in that, put some wood chip in there, as well as the little tag. And therefore, when I'm forgetting, I wonder what this is, I'll pick it up and there's a tag in there, and I'm saved because I know what it is that I'm planting.
There are more LCBO bags. I wonder where they came from.
Our friends.
Yeah, just friends.
Friends
That's right.
and neighbors.
Do you ever mix the bulbs and tubers in the same box?
Yes, sometimes I run out of space. The saving grace are the tags. That's the most important thing.
Right, so you can put them in the bin.
Yes, I do, but I try to keep them as organized. A rhizome look different from a calla. A calla looks different from a canna. So after a while of working with the same bulbs, you get to really know them. And that is key. As long as they're stored properly so they do not rot throughout the winter season, that's the most important thing.
We've had some rot at some time. That's how we learned how to do this.
Because when I was first learning about storing bulbs, I stored them in the garage.
Right.
And I thought them being a dry place would be enough. But at the time, the garage was not insulated, and there was still too much moisture.
And we put them all in the basement now, don't we?
Yes, we put them in the furnace room. That's the best storage place. It's dry and seemed to be the perfect temperature. So I think coming to the bottom of the bulb storing event.
Right.
I remember when you made and built this little table for me. I was so happy that I had a space over in this little special section for me.
Well, you've got the quartz cutouts now, so you've upped your game.
Yeah, up my game, because a friend told us that when you do order your quartz countertop, when you're building a new kitchen, the cutouts, that's yours. You already paid for it.
Yeah.
So therefore, you have every right to ask for the cutout. So we asked for the cutout, and we had our reno guys install it in my little workstation here. So it has a new facelift. So that's the cutout for the sink.
Yep.
And the other side is the cutout for the cooktop.
Yep.
And now we have all the boxes are done.
Good to go. Rock and roll.
They're ready for downstairs. Chapter
Done. Finished.
done.
Yay. Thank you for joining us in this bulb storing event. See you in the next video, and thank you for watching.